WhatsApp. WhatsApp has
Yeah.
been the talk. I mean, people have been talking about it so much. I've been getting so many comments and requests to talk more about it. What's going on? So, following on from the whole privacy policy update, which you had to agree to, or you would not no longer be able to use the app. The initial date, I'm just checking here, 8th of February was. Then, obviously, the whole thing happened with people boycotting WhatsApp in masses, moving to apps like Signal and Telegram. Now, WhatsApp has actually gone back and moved that date back to the 15th of May. So, that's quite a
Hmm.
significant pushback. So, now you don't have to agree to any particular policy up until the 15th of May. Are they gonna change anything, or are they just trying to use this time to communicate better, which they didn't do in the first place?
Yeah, I don't think they need to change anything because honestly, first of all, WhatsApp and Facebook needs to fire their PR firm. Like, fire. Those guys need to go because the communication was really poor. Second, WhatsApp is facing backlash because of Facebook itself. So even though the communication was poor, as soon as it was poor, you went Facebook. Data is going to Facebook, not exactly knowing what the data is. That's the poor communication. Everyone just went, forget it, I'm out, right? And we have some information from WhatsApp stating exactly at least what WhatsApp protects and secures in terms of your
Yeah.
personal messages. I can read it out for you guys here.
Yeah, so they actually posted this. They should have, I mean, to be honest, they should have posted this to begin with. But
First,
obviously, they've learned their lesson. They made it in a simple graphic. He can read it out for you.
yeah, sure. It says WhatsApp cannot see your personal messages or hear your calls, and neither can Facebook. It also says WhatsApp does not keep logs of who everyone is messaging or calling. WhatsApp cannot see your shared location, and neither can Facebook. WhatsApp does not share your contacts with Facebook. WhatsApp groups remain private. You can set your messages to disappear. You can also download your data.
Yeah, I mean that's what they needed initially. If they had initially come in with that, I think it would have, clarified. Because I think a lot of people. I mean, we were talking about this in the previous podcast where it was clear that messages are still encrypted end to end. Nobody can read your messages, but that didn't seem to be communicated as clear as it is now. My question is, how many people who have already made the jump now are going to be like, okay, maybe I'll use it, or is that bad publicity, enough for them to have I mean, they've obviously already had a significant hit, but is that going to be a permanent significant hit for them?
I don't think permanent. I think what it is I'll put it this way. A lot of people moved to Telegram and Signal, more to Telegram than Signal, just because of the way Signal is. I think, for people like me and you, or people like us in general who are, first or second generation immigrants, you've got family from different parts of the world, you are still going to use WhatsApp. It's just the way it is because, we've got
It's
family
so
members who
embedded.
who are embedded in there. I think what they need to do, I think they've lost the Western consumer, and that's not the consumer that we're going for in the first place. I think Zuckerberg has really made his mind up to basically reach out to the rest of the world and gain that foothold in market. The issue is that they did two things that were wrong. Number one, they should not have made the policy a mandate to stop using the service. They should have done it as a clear update of rules and rules and permissions, that this is what it's going to do and this is what it will not do. But you just have to agree to that, like any other rules updates that we get uh,
Do,
for different things, right?
do you think they'll change it so then by 15th of May they'll have an option to opt out potentially? Or is that just not
Yeah,
something that's feasible?
I think they will have an option to opt out because I think they will look at how much they're bleeding in between
Yeah.
now and then, and decide, okay, look, let's just put it in cleaner terms and tell people this is what it is. This is so that businesses can allow data, and this is for money transfer. If you're transferring to another individual, and also if you're doing payments, because there are certain things you need for that to happen.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
need certain information, And I think that's what they were not clear. And we spoke about this, how WhatsApp was looking to get into mobile payments, especially in India. And I know very well that, I'm originally from Nigeria. And in Nigeria, since at least the early 2000s, we've been doing text payments back home. And we still do text payments. I literally see a friend, you're like, okay, can you loan me, $200? I'm like, all right, I just text your number with my bank code, and I give you $200. So they've been doing that for a while, but now everyone is on WhatsApp. And you really can't do that on WhatsApp because it's just a messaging app. So you still need, that's why I said it's actually an important thing that if you want to use that service, or if that's going to expand, just like how WeChat does it. And I think WhatsApp looks at this as there's an opportunity for them to gain because, let's be honest, they're also in China. Even if they're number 2 in China or even number 3, and they only have 100 million users in China, that's a lot of users. And then you've got the rest of the world that you expand on. I think they are fine, and everyone's making a big brouhaha. But honestly, in the West, whether it's the U.S. or the U.K., Facebook doesn't really care. I honestly will put it that way. Facebook and WhatsApp doesn't care because we have become a bit stale in terms of the way we use technology. We stick to iPhone, Android. We stick to this or that. The rest of the world is exploring. That's the difference.
So it seems like, the 15th of May pushback is to buy them some time as well to kind of figure out what to do and how to kind of get out this mess that they've created themselves. So it buys them some time, but potentially we think that, because of the amount of damage that has been done, it may be something that they allow you to opt out of. So it's just like, okay, if you don't want to connect with businesses, you don't want to make payments, then you can opt out. And that way it might buy back some of the confidence for some of those people, because I'm seeing, like, especially in India, obviously WhatsApp is massive, but it has taken a massive hit in India because many users, the news that they get is from WhatsApp, and the news right now that they're getting from WhatsApp is that WhatsApp is bad.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So it's like backfired on them. That news, that fake news, it's like, oh yeah, people can. As I said, I'm not saying that. I personally still use WhatsApp. A lot of my family's on there. Obviously, I'm based in the UK, so EU and UK are not affected by these policy changes. But I'm not saying it's the perfect app, but it is still very easy to communicate with a lot of people on there. However, I am also using other alternatives. In particular, Telegram is something that I'm using because I can use it on multiple devices. Signal, as secure as it is, and I like the fact that it's very, very secure, because it's limited to one device to make it even more secure, it kind of brings me back to the problems that I had with WhatsApp. So
I think if I was WhatsApp, I would allow the opt-out feature, but also update the app to include all the features, or at least a lot of the features that we see in Telegram, especially the multi-logins, some of the things to do with, notifications, as well as, emojis and all that stuff, like the fun elements of it, and say, hey, look, we made some changes. We didn't clearly express it properly, and this is clearly what it is. What we want to do is also have an area where if a company that you reach out to, they can actually set up a specific chat line for you. So whenever you're dealing with a Samsung, because you have Samsung phone, it's an immediate response. It's kind of like Twitter, in a sense where you can connect with them. I think these are the kind of things that if they released it out, you're not going to gain those people back, but then people will go, oh, okay, all right, great. But honestly, the best thing for WhatsApp to do, and Facebook as a whole, I'm going to say this quickly, we can talk about this later, is that they need to rebrand the general name of the company. The overall company is still called Facebook, which is kind of weird. It should be called Numbers, for instance, and then Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram are different companies there. And the face of Facebook cannot be Mark Zuckerberg. That's just the honest truth.
He's back to the face of Facebook. Facebook needs a new face, essentially.
Pretty much.
I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf Speaks, and I'll see you next time.